Hallo, ihr lieben Badass Miracle Maker. Don't laugh. No, she's not laughing. Good.
Smile only.
Hallo, ihr lieben Badass Miracle Maker. Ich bin hier mit Cybelle von Cybelle Weddings, and she is a destination wedding planner from all over the place, actually, right? You're Lebanese.
I am Lebanese, based in Athens, doing destination weddings in Greece, Spain, Italy, and always adding new destinations.
Very nice.
How can we make it happen?
Cuéntamelo todo. Like,
¿Qué quieres saber? ¿Qué quieres saber?
I don't know. Like you do a lot of Lebanese weddings, right?
So 40% of my weddings are actually Lebanese, destination weddings, of course. And 60% is destination weddings from all over the world. Mostly, how can I take her seriously? She's laughing in my face.
Sorry. Sorry. No.
We should have been having drinks, actually. This is fun.
This is fun, yeah. Next time.
Get into the character, dude. I'm already inside the character.
You are very, very much inside the character of a professional destination wedding planner for luxury clients.
Quiet luxury, please, by the way. Quiet luxury.
Quiet luxury?
We don't deal with luxury.
Yeah, okay.
Quiet luxury.
Okay. So tell me, what is quiet luxury and what is luxury?
For me, my humble opinion, of course, for me, I do quiet luxury, meaning I like one bold element of design, let's say, of one bold thing happening in the wedding, not everything bold.
Hallo, ich bin Eli Kadich, Unternehmerin und Marketing-Expertin seit 2007 und CEO von A Very Beloved Wedding seit 2014. In nur 2 Jahren habe ich den Sprung von Hochzeiten mit 40.000 € Budget zu Hochzeiten mit über 1 Million € Budget geschafft. Heute setzt meine Agentur europaweit Standards im Luxussegment. Doch der Weg dahin war alles andere als einfach. In diesem Podcast teile ich meine ehrlichen und ungeschminkten Wedding Confessions, echte Einblicke hinter die Kulissen von Premium-Hochzeiten und die Business-Erfolgsstrategien, die A Very Beloved Wedding zu einer der weltweit besten Hochzeitsplanungsagenturen gemacht haben.
This is what happens when destination wedding planners meet outside of the work, when they're not working, when they're taking too much sun, when they're drinking too many cocktails. What else? When they're talking
dancing too many dances.
Dancing too much. And this is it's like a school trip, right?
Yeah.
Don't you feel like it's like a school trip for us?
Well, no, the bus part, yes.
Yes.
The shuttles, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of shuttles in general.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Yeah, I prefer to be in a nice car. Or on a horse. Why not?
On a horse?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, with a carriage, because I'm the queen. So.
Well, we agreed that we are the princesses of the hotels.
Queens.
Queens.
I don't deal with princesses,
okay.
Yes.
So we are the queens of the hotels.
I'm a goddess, you're going to be the queen.
Okay.
There you go.
Fine for me. Fine for me.
So I was telling you about quiet luxury. Basically, quiet luxury is a great example of what you're wearing. Quiet luxury is when you are wearing something very nice, very elegant, high-end, but it's not in your face brands and the name of the brands all over. Mm-hmm. You have 1-2 bold statements that are showing that you are wearing something of a designer, and it shows that it's a designer, you're in accessories. Your clothes could be Zara, which is beautiful still, but you are not wearing Louis Vuitton, you're not wearing Gucci, hi, I'm wearing brands. This is luxury in your face, and this is not personally my style. As a person, hence, my business showcases the same style. So quiet luxury is when you are doing something high-end, but it's not really in your face. You feel the high-end food, you feel the nice presentation, you feel the nice wine, you feel nice, like there is a nice decoration on the table, the setup is beautiful, but it's not so many things happening. Like you don't have so many colors on the table. You have, for example, normally what I try to do is to have either the focus on the flowers, either the focus on the plates, or the focus on the tablecloths, but not tablecloths with patterns, and then set up with patterns as well, and napkins with patterns, and then a lot of flowers on the table. That's too much for me. Mm-hmm. I prefer to have one bold statement, and that's something that normally everybody will remember. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It could be very simple. It doesn't have to be, crazy. Something hanging from the ceiling doesn't have to be like that. It can be just simply nicely put on the table.
And what is your experience with Lebanese weddings? Because I've done them too, and you're Lebanese.
Yes.
So, and this podcast is called Wedding Confessions. So what would be your wedding confession?
Ouch. My Lebanese couples might not like this. No, look.
They are not going to listen to this.
Yes. Normally, my Lebanese couples are a bit harder than my international couples to deal with. I don't know if it's because I'm Lebanese, so they feel comfortable with me. I know the language. They speak their language with me. It's kind of a different approach, I think. But definitely, my experience with international couples is much smoother. And normally, we Lebanese people are a bit hard to please. And we have always very high expectations. We want the best of the best. We want very good service. And sometimes in Europe, it's not the same as in Lebanon. So I try to explain to my Lebanese couples always that please remember that this wedding is not happening in Lebanon. You cannot bring a Lebanese wedding to Spain, Greece, Italy, France, any place. You just have to think that this is a new destination. It has new rules. Lebanon, we don't have a lot of rules.
No.
And even if we have rules, we don't really follow all the time. So for music limitations, for example, in Lebanon, you don't have to deal with these things. You can do your party as long as you want. There's no problem there. In Europe, it's always 11, 12 p.m. maximum outdoors, and then you move indoors. And the Lebanese are not used to that, and they don't like moving around so much. In a wedding in Spain, for example, you have to change 5 times. So you have 5 sections in the wedding. You have the welcome drink, ceremony, cocktail hour, dinner, and party in 5 different places.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. They don't like to be displaced that much, and they don't like the concept that they are partying inside. I understand this because as well, I know where it comes from. You are traveling to a destination and you want to be outside. You don't want to be in between walls.
Especially in the summer. And everything, right?
There you go. So I understand them, but I understand as well that Europe, they are respecting the residents around them. So I understand both sides, and I try to get them the best results possible. So I try to extend a bit the hours. Sometimes it doesn't work. Or I try to find them a venue that is actually in the middle of nowhere, where actually there are no music limitations, which is mostly what I do with my Lebanese couples.
Mm-hmm. But so you are not specialized in only Lebanese? You do.
No, I do for everybody. I'm inclusive to all races, religions, sexual orientations. I'm open to everybody. Any 2 humans in love, I'm definitely there for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely because of my PR and everything, I have 40% of my clients as Lebanese couples. Whether they are both Lebanese, Lebanese with another nationality, or diaspora Lebanese living abroad.
And how do you experience this moving around? Because you have lived in Spain and now you're living in Greece. Before Spain, where were you living?
Lebanon.
In Lebanon. Okay. But you never lived in France?
No.
Okay. So Spain and Greece. And does this change your work?
To be honest, no, because I work from home, which means I create my own space. I'm always for me, my office is my laptop. So I go sometimes work at the beach. I live close by to the beach in Greece. So whenever I change my scenery, because routine, sometimes for us creative people, is sometimes hard to keep in the same place. So for me, changing is actually better for me. Because I'm changing the scenery, I'm changing the air, I'm changing the people I see around, I'm changing the music I'm hearing. So it's not bad at all to change. And I don't like routine. And to be honest, you get inspired by things from different countries. So for me, changing countries is always good. Whether it's inspiration from museums, from walking down the streets, talking to new people, hearing out new ideas, whether it's connected to fashion, to anything, weddings and art, that always helps us get inspired. So no, it's the opposite. I'm very flexible with traveling. So.
And do you have the feeling when you were in Spain that you did more weddings in Spain, and now that you're in Greece that you're doing more weddings in Greece, so that people sense that you moved?
Very good question, actually, because that was what I was thinking. I moved last year to Greece. I think it was in September. And in November, I got 3 inquiries for Greece, and I hadn't, advertised Greece yet. I wasn't ready yet. I knew, of course, some venues. I've always done site inspections in Greece, but I wasn't fully ready, because for me to be fully ready is knowing the market, knowing the local vendors, go see all the venues that are potentials. But then I felt like how did these people come to me? Because normally they were only coming to me for Spain. So I am with you that they feel that you are in the destination. I don't know how.
So weird. But maybe, did you do something on Instagram? Like, did you show that you're location scouting?
To be honest, on my personal account, yes. But other than I didn't advertise Greece as a destination yet because I wasn't ready, as I mentioned. But still, I feel that maybe you attract.
Yeah.
I don't know. I believe in energies and things like that. So I think that you attract something like that. Like there was one of them was a word of mouth. Somebody personal heard that I moved to Greece, so they told the bride and couple that I moved to Greece. So I do with the destination weddings, and that was the first one. And then the second one came, and the third one. Actually, the second one was supposedly gonna be in Lebanon. It was a destination wedding in Lebanon. The couple was Iraqi-British.
Oh, okay.
And then Lebanon, happened what happened. We had a war. The neighborhood was a bit, very bad, to be honest, unfortunately. So they were thinking to either cancel the wedding, postpone it, or change destination. And I definitely told them to change it as destination. And it was one of my best weddings last year, to be honest, even though it was very, very challenging because normally they booked me a year and a half earlier and we had finished everything in Lebanon. So we had to cancel everything that happened in Lebanon and redo everything from scratch in Greece, in a new market, in a new destination, new language, redo the site inspections, the tastings, the meetings with all the vendors and everything.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I don't know how and why, but the results were amazing for this couple specifically.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And how long are you doing this already?
So that's a long story. I'm going to try to cut it short. I started working in weddings since I was 16. I was a hostess myself, yes.
And she's 18.
So. Yes. 2 years only. No, I was working as a hostess myself in weddings in Lebanon. And then at 20s, people started asking me to bring them hostesses as a service. And I didn't have a company. I had nothing. So I used to do it as a freelancer. Yeah. I didn't have a costume or nothing. Yeah. And at 23, I was working as an art director in an advertising company. I studied graphic design, by the way. So I was at some point, this is boring. I like design. It's easy for me. It's not something it's not challenging enough.
Yeah.
I need people as well. I like to talk to people. I like, So I was thinking, how can I do something that is connected to my experience, but still I can use my design skills? So I opened my hostessing agency at 2013. I was 23 at the time. Now we can do the calculations and know my age.
Oh, you're the same age as I am.
Oh. 90?
What?
90?
What 90?
1990 you were born?
No. Oh, did I miscalculate?
You did miscalculate.
Sorry. I was born 1980.
Okay, that's 10 years different.
I miscalculated.
You miscalculated. Just 10 years. It's not
just 10 years. No.
Yeah.
No, but it's okay. I feel better now.
Then after 5 years of opening my own agency, it was a hostessing agency and coordination agency, Lebanon and the GCC. And then when I moved to Spain, I had to find a partner. I was alone in the company, of course, with all the hostesses that used to work with me. And then I found a partner. I had a partner. And then since I left Lebanon in 2018, things started deteriorating in Lebanon poco a poco. So things were going very bad. We had hyperinflation. We had the explosion in Beirut. We had the COVID as well to deal with. We had the revolution happening. There was too many things happening. Yeah. Business was very bad. So at some point, I was like, starting to feel that it's time to give up on this. But it was my baby. I couldn't. So I never gave up on it. And after 5 years, I started working on the destination wedding business. That was in 2020. 2020 is when COVID happened. Yes. Of course, you know that.
We all know.
I had been to all of the exhibitions and fairs, wedding related in Spain. So I was ready to start doing weddings in Spain and go see people. And this is where COVID happened. So I'm like, this is going to be on hold for the time being. Thankfully, I didn't have clients at the time. So it served its purpose, to be honest. And this is where I worked as an art director again in another company in Barcelona. And in the meanwhile, another company in Lebanon, but it's much bigger than me, approached me for a merger with my other company. Ave Agency, it was called. Still called Ave Agency. So I went to Lebanon to deal with that. And it didn't happen. I didn't like the contract. I didn't like the terms. I didn't like, the vibe wasn't correct. So I left. And then this is where I said, it's time to close this chapter. So I talked to my partner and I told her, either we close the company, either you buy my shares. And thankfully she took my shares, she bought my shares, and the company is still functioning until today. So it was in this moment, in March 2023, when I sold my company and the contract was signed, that I got my first client as a destination wedding planner in Madrid. So I think I highly believe, to be honest, that when you close a chapter, definitely the new chapter is ready for you. So it was a very good decision to take. It took me a lot of strength to do it because, when you do your own business, sometimes it's like a baby to you. You put your soul into it. You put everything there. So, but I'm super happy that my partner as well is taking care of it. She's another mother for it. So I'm very happy for that. So yeah, I've been in the wedding industry since I was 16. But as a destination wedding planning, I would say 2023 is my first official year as a destination wedding planner.
Wow, and you're doing this well already.
Bueno.
I mean, not? Bueno.
Bueno, yeah. Thank you.
But how did you learn managing the businesses? Did you go to a business school or how did you just...
Nothing.
Nothing.
So I think you can never know how to run a business. Even if you do business at university, it teaches you some things, but business is about doing mistakes and learning from them. This is how I highly believe it. I studied graphic design, which has nothing to do with business. Nobody in my family has a business, so I had nobody around me that actually helped me to know how to do things. I didn't know invoices. I didn't know receipts, how to do them, auditing, contracts, everything, employment, social security, things that you don't think about. Had to deal with them when I was 23 in a country like Lebanon, and I had no idea how to do it. But I managed. It took me some time to become legal, let's say, because first you're like, where should I register my business? What should I do? How should I register it? Under which? All of these things, they teach you a lot of things and they make you grow 10 years, maybe in 1 year, because you're dealing with things that most people, they never have to deal with. Like checks, opening a bank account, all of these things, and advertising yourself, selling yourself, knowing how to hire the right people, being the HR person, being the salesperson, being every single hat that a full company has in one person is exhausting, but it makes you fit in every role that you might not need to deal with during your life. So until today, I'm still learning. I've done a lot of mistakes, of course, in my business, but I'm very happy of these mistakes because this is what is making me better and better in running my business. Of course, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect in running their own business. But yes, it takes a toll on you, to be honest.
I mean, a lot of vendors that listen to this podcast, a lot of them are really people that get out of their comfort zone, but a lot of them don't want to take the risk. There are a lot of wedding vendors that do it as a hobby sometimes, or don't do it as an entire business. They still have one foot in a company and the other one in the business. So what would you say, what is the advice to take the risk to do it? Because you need to live from something.
That was me, by the way. When I was doing the hostessing agency for 10 years, I was still working full-time as an employee in this company. So I never felt that I was able to just do my business on its own. So I always had this as a backup, which, to be honest, you cannot go crazy with your business when you are dividing your energy into two places. And being an employee, it takes a toll on you. And normally after being an employee for a full day, you just want to come home and relax. When I did that, my business was successful. I cannot say no, but it wasn't where I wanted it to be. Now my business is, and it's this second year actually, and it's growing like that. The agency was going like very slow and still not going up, because I couldn't give it all my energy. What I suggest to anybody who's thinking of doing a business, do it. It's the best thing you can do. Please don't think that actually this is easier. You will work less, definitely. No, you'll work much more. But much more. You have fun. You can control your days. You can control your hours. If today you don't feel like working, you're not being productive, take the day off.
You can work in the weekend and you can take the day off during the week and enjoy the beach or whatever when people are working.
You can work wherever you want, in any scenery you want. You can skip missing anything in your life because you actually can control your time. You can control your life. Nobody's controlling you. You're controlling your business. I'm not saying it's easy. It takes a lot of strength, a lot of, you have to be very consistent and really, really very well behaved to be able to wake up every morning at the same time and actually sit in your office and take it seriously. Because for you to reach that point, to be able to feel like you are going to your office while you're working from home, that is very much harder than you think.
Yes.
And some people cannot do it. They need the office. They need to go to the office to do it. So that takes a lot of training for you to reach that point, one. And second, if you're thinking about, should I do it? Should I not do it? Maybe I will fail. Ask yourself one question. What's the worst that will happen? Are you going to live on the street? Are you going to not able to pay your rent? Are you not going to be able to eat? What's the worst that can happen? One. Second question, which is, my coach asked me this question, and this is where I knew wedding planning was my calling, let's say, was when you're on your deathbed, that might look a bit aggressive. When you're on your deathbed, if you want to say, I am proud of this, what I did in my life. She asked me, because I used to do a lot of things. I used to do freelancing, art direction, graphic design. So she asked me, would you be proud of a logo that you did for a company? I'm like, hell no, don't care. And she's like, would you be proud of a wedding that you did? Definitely. Like this experience that I'm giving to the couple that is connected to love, to family, to reunions, celebrations, this emotional feeling that I'm creating, there's nothing better. Like, you are in a high during the day of the wedding.
Yes.
It's like, because adrenaline is very high.
Yeah.
You are very happy.
Yeah.
For me, to be honest, I don't stress much on the day of the wedding. For me, it's like, hey, let's have fun while we're doing it.
Work with all the vendors.
Super fun,
like
because
a party backstage.
You've done all the work.
Yeah.
You've done all the work all the year.
It's the culmination of all this.
It's our direction.
And everything that happened the year before.
Yeah. For me, the hardest part is actually the preparations.
Yeah.
The day of the wedding is the easy part for me. So, for example, what we are doing as wedding planners, we are just, being the conductors of this orchestra. We're just making sure that all the instruments are being played in the right time and the right way, but we are not playing the instruments ourselves.
Yeah.
We played our instruments during this whole year, but now it's time for the suppliers to do their work.
Yeah.
We're just here to make sure that there's harmony in this piece that we created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nicely said.
Thank you.
And because you said you have a coach, you're a coach. I also have a coach once a week. And it's true, like you have to make room for something to come in. Like you cannot have all your energy in one thing and the other thing and then expect that the other thing grows or you have success or whatever. You need to give space and room to the thing so that you need to give it focus and energy and everything for it to succeed.
100%.
Right? 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Some people do different businesses, but this is when they have teams.
Yeah.
So I try to be a freelancer, a full-time employee, and a business owner. And that destroys you because you don't have a life anymore. And to be honest, we are not here just to work. I adore my work. There's nothing that gives me more happiness, I'm super passionate about what I do. I'm very happy to work 24 hours, but that's not what I want in my life. Yeah. I want to stay as an individual. Besides the business owner title that I have, I'm an individual that needs to live as well. Not only, we don't work to live, we live to work. The opposite way, actually. Yeah. We don't live to work, we work to live.
There is no work-life balance. Life is work, work is life. I think there is both. That is my take because I love what I do and it's integrated in my life somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, you see, we are at the beach. We are away. It's kind of how can I say? Like always when we do destination weddings and we are somewhere, it is not a vacation, but it somehow it's connected because there are a few things you can really enjoy a lot.
Of course.
You enjoy the food, you enjoy the beach, you enjoy the people, you make friends with vendors.
Thank you.
No? and so it's so for me actually it's not that easy to say this is my personal life and this is my professional life or I have to make a balance out of it. I think it's for me it is not possible.
For me, there is the work-life balance in this. Even if we are here, for me, I'm working right now. This is work. it feels so natural, it feels so friendly, it feels so easy.
Yeah.
But still, this is work. You know, we are going to network.
Yeah.
We're working with suppliers all day.
Yeah.
We're doing B2B meetings.
Yeah.
We're talking all day. We're selling our services. This is work. Of course, we are enjoying everything that comes with it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not with my best friend. I'm not with my husband. I'm not with my parents. I'm not with my family. I'm not with my dog. I'm not on the beach sipping a drink, thinking of nothing but the drink that I'm drinking and the view that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So as much as wedding planning feels that this is having fun, it's fun, it is a hectic job, and you know that very well.
Oh, yeah.
It is, you know, there's a lot of ups and downs. But we need to take care of ourselves and our private life, because we are private people as well. Besides that, we are wedding planners, we do have a private life.
Yeah.
You have a partner, you have a friend, you have these.
I have 2 dogs.
You have 2 dogs.
Yes.
When you walk your dogs, you're not feeling like you're doing work. Maybe we're not feeling actually that we are working right now, like work.
It's really,
even
it's
wedding
nice.
planning, it's nice.
I mean, it's nice. It's a nice conversation. I'm having fun. I'm feeling very
Of
comfortable
course.
and everything. So for me, and the thing is, when I mean, it's different for everybody. But when I think like I'm working, then it's a different feeling. When I just think this is my life, I'm more relaxed than when I think this is work.
But I ask you something. If a bride right now texts you while you are, let's say you are on vacation with your dogs, with your friends, whatever it is, and the bride asks you something that will, you know, and sometimes brides do that.
Bridezilla.
So did you think that this is not work and this is not connected to your work and that this doesn't affect you as a person having a vacation? Will you be able to ignore her and not let it affect you and answer her after you return?
In the meanwhile, yes.
You can.
Actually, yes. I mean, I'm doing this 11 years.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, I was, this, sorry, this idiot. And I was really like that. But right now, no. Actually, no, not anymore. But it took me really long time to being able not to react.
Like nothing.
Like nothing, neutral. I know it's boring because sometimes you want to like get mad.
It's better not to get mad.
I know, but sometimes we want to be a little bit more dramatic in life.
What's life without drama?
Yeah, exactly. Especially when we are like Latin or like we are like Mediterranean or whatever.
There you go.
So we are a little bit more
ole.
No? More like that.
Yeah.
So but I really left this. I let this go. I'm not that dramatic anymore.
It's not about dramatic, it's about affecting you and your me time.
I don't react.
You don't answer until you come back home?
No. Mm-hmm.
So it could wait for 1 week, her message, for you to return to it? You don't check your emails in the morning?
I let people know when I go to vacation that I won't be answering.
Wow, okay. That's very good to reach to be honest. Because for me, it's 24/7 all year long, expecting me to be available. Of course, now I'm doing it's a new exercise that after 6 p.m. I don't answer my WhatsApp messages anymore. And I'm trying not to check my email all the time because you always say, maybe there's a new inquiry. I don't want to miss that client.
Really?
Yeah. And speed, to be honest, in this business is very important.
Yeah, you have to answer right away when
most couples, when I ask them, why did you choose me as your planner? And they're like, you were the quickest one. You were the sweetest one. You were the funnest one. You were very easy to talk to.
Yeah.
But one of them is the speed. Someone is thinking, I should check my email.
Yeah.
So, and your phone is a computer.
Yeah,
you can check your email. You can check your WhatsApp. They can reach you. They are there. Like it's your office.
Yeah.
And it's everywhere with you. It's your personal device. Yeah. But it's connected to your business still.
Yes.
So it is very hard for me to disconnect between the two because, you know, it's there. It's in front of me. Yeah. And checking your Instagram. Do I have messages, requests on Instagram? Anybody tagged me? I don't know. You know, these things are all we're connected because it's not about my personal life. Yeah. It's about my business at the end. Yeah. But wellness while sustaining a nice business is always important, I think, just to keep our sanity. Yeah. Because
I know. But my wellness is actually really not reacting. Not reacting, staying neutral. Even if I check emails, I check them. I don't read them. So I know if there is something important, then I click on it and then I read it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, not react. This is actually something I had to learn, not to react, because I'm a very reactive person. Like I get an impulse, I'm instantly wanting to do something, answer, but I don't anymore. I don't react. I take the time, I stay neutral, and then I react.
Bravo.
Yes. And when I get angry, I talk to my coach, because every anger you feel that is longer than 5 seconds is an issue you have.
Of course.
So,
Trauma.
It's
Initiated.
a trauma.
Trauma initiated.
Actually, I see it also as an opportunity. If I would get aggressive or something because of I would talk to my coach and tell her, listen, I got this, drove me crazy. What's happening? This is not normal. Whatever.
I love that. More than 5 seconds, it means it's connected to something traumatic that happened to you.
Yes.
It makes sense, actually, yeah, because why else? So if I tell you right now, I don't like your clothes, you don't have style, would you be affected? Definitely no. You know yourself, you know that you have style, you know that.
Yeah. You might not like it, which is also fine.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. If you are not confident that you actually have good style and somebody tells you this, you will feel mad. You're like, how dare you think like that about me? Whatever, I'm saying most stupid thing ever. But just to give you an idea. So when you see somebody reacting in front of you, it means that they feel what you said and it's correct.
Yeah.
If I tell now, I don't know, anybody, you're not a good planner, and they know that they're a good planner, they will not be affected. They'll be like, oh, okay, thank you. So that's the thing. It's very important, your confidence and you dealing with your own things, especially as a planner as well, because we deal with a lot of people. We deal with couples from different destinations, from different countries, different cultures, different backgrounds, different social classes. We're talking to vendors from all over the world. We're talking to guests from all over the world. So you are basically the conductor that is trying to understand instruments that have never played before, or an instrument that you don't even know, because conductors cannot know all the instruments in the world, because there are instruments tribal in a tribe, I don't know where, somewhere in the middle of nowhere that nobody knows about, but you have to know how to play it. So you need to know to speak to this guest in his language, not necessarily the same language, let's say in English, but in his language, in the way that he will understand you, in the way that you will calm him. The same for suppliers, the same for couples. So we have to be psychologically and mentally very stable to be able to do wedding planning, to be honest. And we have to be aware.
Empathetic or empathetic? Empathetic. We need to be a lot.
We need to have empathy.
Yes, that's better. We need to have empathy. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I tell you something about confidence. It grows when you get older. That's the it grows, of course, when you start doing things out of your comfort zone, when you start really relying on yourself because you have dreams, you want to reach something, you want to achieve something, and you start really doing action to achieve these goals. So this means I can trust myself that I will do it. So this is my self-trust, my confidence that I get. And the older I get, the more I will do this, the more opportunities I have to do it. And then you get, sometimes when you are 40 plus, you start being like, it's really
smooth.
And that's why there are so many 50 plus women out there that have so much self-confidence that you see in social media, influencers, 50 plus, 60 plus, where you think, wow, they are so confident. It's just the time.
It's like, I'm done with dealing with certain type of things. And you know yourself.
About your opinion.
I don't care about what other things. Yes. That's something that I always had as well. And I think everybody should, because everybody will judge you no matter what you do.
Yes.
Everybody will find that what you're doing, everybody has an opinion. We don't care about it. Because if you care about people's opinions, ask yourself why. Why do you care? Who's this person in the bus next to you, on the metro, or on the street? Or why are you shy to ask this salesperson something? You're not going to see her ever in your life. What's wrong with you that you're not able to ask something that you need or you have the right to? Like, go for it. Just what will happen?
And to be honest, every person has their own world and have their own lack of self-confidence and complexes and their own problems. They're probably not even thinking about you or anyone outside, right? They're just dealing with themselves all the time.
Projecting their issues on you.
Projecting their issues on you, exactly.
It's up to you to take it in or not. And that's very important in weddings, by the way. The day of the wedding, that's when I tell you I try to be as positive, as happy, as high energy, because it's like we are the yoga teacher or the meditator when you go and do meditation. I don't know if you ever tried it.
Yes.
The meditator, after the session, he's exhausted. Why? Because he threw all his energy there. All the people that were there in the session were absorbing his energy because he is giving out his energy. Yeah. The same for wedding planning. For me, I take one wedding per week, and this is the maximum my body can tolerate, because seriously, we are giving 100,000%, not 100% of energy to everyone around us. From the truck drivers that are bringing our rentals to every single other person that is happening in this wedding. Venue owners, photographers, videographers, assistants, the cleaners, every single person there, and the guests. You know how much we deal with guests as well. I forgot my phone in the shuttle. Oh, my friend is throwing up, something annoyed him.
I lost my earring.
I lost this, I lost that, I forgot my bag. So you are being a mother to everybody as well. And to be honest, you need to be very much aware of everything that's happening around you, and to know how to answer and address every problem that's happening. There are always problems in weddings. We all know that. Always. That's why what we do is basically hiding the problems from the couples. My couples never know what's happening behind the scenes. No. Behind the scenes are sometimes a mess. A mess, because there's always something happening. I don't know, something happened. I don't know, somebody fell from their guest. They don't know. The couples need to stay on the high level. I don't bring them down in any way. I always have emergency contacts from their families to know who to address. Something happened to somebody, some things happen. And not only about the guests, like even with the suppliers, there are some issues that are happening sometimes. You have bad weathers to deal with. A supplier comes to you, for example, in Barcelona. Last year I had a wedding, and one supplier, the florist actually, came to me. He's a Spanish supplier, a local one. He came and told me, Cybelle, we need to do the wedding inside. This couple is coming from California. And their dream is to do this wedding. It's a castle with greenery. They are hikers. They wanted some mountains in the background. Their dream was to do a ceremony outdoor in front with mountains in the backdrop. And I found them the best castle on earth in Barcelona. And this is what we did. A lot of noise. Imagine that this florist came and the venue owner came and the catering came to me. 3 out of the main vendors there, and they are locals. I'm not a local. They're like, Cybelle, we need to do the wedding inside. I'm like, no, we're not doing the wedding inside until the wedding was 6 p.m. I'm like, 5:30 p.m. If it's raining, we're going to do, and I'm going to do a plan B already. So what I did is I did a plan B inside, en cas où, just in case something happened and the weather was bad, but I had my plan A outside already set up. It was raining a bit. I'm not going to lie to you. It was raining, but dripping. So I put just nylon on the chairs outside. I didn't care about the arch of flowers to be wet. It's nice. It's flowers. This is earth. So, and they were really insisting on doing it inside. They're like, I'm going to leave because I have other weddings. I'm like, it's okay, you can leave. And he's like, but I cannot help you to put the flowers inside. I told him, I'm going to put myself the flowers inside. If we're going to do the wedding inside, don't worry, I'm going to make it happen. And then the catering comes and they're like, Cybelle, the food, I don't know what. I'm like, the food is until after the ceremony, don't worry about it. Then the venue comes, Cybelle, my humble opinion, I know that you're an experienced wedding planner, but we've done a lot of weddings here and look at the clouds are white. I'm like, guys, one thing I'm going to tell you. My couple is my priority. I hear what you're saying, but I know what my couples told me for a year. I'm going to try to accomplish their dream. If by 5:30 things are not happening, we have 30 minutes window to make it happen. And don't worry, I know what I'm doing. At 5:30, the sun goes up. Everything is dry. I just remove the nylon and the couple comes and they're like, oh my God, it stopped raining. I'm like, yes, let's do it. They had no idea about what happened with the vendors. I was fighting all day with them, fighting my way to try to tell them, please, let's leave it outside. So sometimes if you absorb this negative energy, you might end up failing as a planner because these people might be older than you, might have more experience than you in the wedding industry. They might be locals. They might agree between them against you. I don't know, some people have these things. You need to be very mature and very, zen inside to not let it penetrate you somehow.
Yeah.
Because when the negative energy penetrates you, it destroys the whole wedding. For us, we have to be like, a wall. Whatever you tell me, I'm gonna leave it there. It's not gonna come here. If I want it to come here and it's positive, I'm gonna let it and I'm gonna allow it. Which is nice because it's an emotional day. There's a lot of emotions happening there. It's nice to take in the nice emotions. But when something negative happens, I'm like, wall. Protect yourself, shield yourself, because otherwise, this negative energy, you're gonna throw it on everybody else.
No.
Because imagine your meditator. I don't know if this is the right word.
Meditation, yogi,
Instructor.
Instructor. Exactly.
Yeah. Imagine he is having a bad day and he comes to you. What he's gonna tell you? If he's having bad energy, he's gonna give you bad energy. It's energy flowing around you.
Yeah.
So it's very important for us to be very mature and very aware of what's happening around us.
Yeah.
And being mature enough to know what to deal with.
Yeah. And strong. Like you were very strong to have your opinion and to say, no, I'm going to do it this way. You took the risk.
And stick to it.
Yeah.
While all the people around you are telling you no.
Yeah. Well, something very similar happened to me in the Sound of Music castle.
Oh.
The one with the 2 horses. Again, rain. I think it was 2 hours before the ceremony, and it rained. So, but we had to take the things off, like all the chairs, everything, because it was too many people, too many chairs. And if everything gets wet, we didn't have the thing to cover it up. So we had to dismantle everything, and we had to wait. And we really wanted to wait because inside, nothing. It's like a hall. It's like a reception of a hotel.
Yeah.
I mean, a nice reception, but still.
But still, it's indoor.
Yeah, and then actually then it stopped raining 1 hour before the ceremony, and we put everything back. And I also was the person who made everybody do it this way, because otherwise,
They would like to take the easy part.
I mean,
the easy
people
path.
get married because of those 2 little horses there. They have to.
That's the thing.
It is not
Destination.
possible to do it like that.
Destination weddings are about being outdoors. And that's what I always say to my vendors. Like, really, I know you have maybe amazing halls inside, but they can do that in their own hometown.
Yeah.
Being indoors doesn't give them this freedom, this feeling of being outside in a nice nature, next to the sea, next to the mountains, next to the forest, whatever it is, even in a nice palace backdrop. But you're outside, you're free. We are humans, and we are sons of and daughters of the earth. So for me, being outdoors, it makes you wilder, freer, happier.
Yeah.
It's the earth frequency as well. Being in between walls is what we do every day.
Especially the
Minimum.
ceremony.
Minimum.
The ceremony, yeah. I mean, we have beautiful castles and palaces in Vienna, so people like to be indoors, but the ceremonies are very often outside.
Depends on the destination as well and the weather conditions. For example, Germany, you don't have a lot of options outdoors because of the weather. The same in Belgium, depending on the destination you're talking about.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, in Greece, a destination, let me sell it as a destination for indoor weddings. No, Greece is known for the beach, for the outdoors, for the nice venues that it has.
And sometimes when it's so hot, people actually would love to get inside.
None of my couples ever told me that they want to go inside. Okay. And I understand them because outdoors is the experience.
With the sea or whatever. Yeah,
imagine what you have.
No. But still, I asked you moments ago at the beginning of this podcast, what is your wedding confession? And you didn't tell me your wedding confession.
Do you want the happy
What would you
one?
confess? What would you confess?
That's hard.
What would you tell? I know it's hard.
The confession should be negative or positive?
Whatever,
to direct me.
Whatever you want to leave here.
Wedding confession. Let's think about that one. Let's return to it. Let me process it. Yeah. Because
She's
wedding
processing.
confession, I'm processing. The processor is working, it's processing.
Okay, then process.
I'm processing.
Okay, process. So you were also talking about bridezillas.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about bridezillas. So actually, to be honest, not all. I had Lebanese weddings where the bride was really amazing, and the groom was a groomzilla, to be honest. It's, I don't know if it's a cultural thing or what it is, but there is always one person, not only Lebanese, whatever wedding, that is hysteric. that there is always one person where everything is a matter
Harder.
of life and death.
Mm-hmm.
Like every candle, everything is like so important. How do you deal with that?
Look, normally we are psychologists more than we are wedding planners, to be honest. And I think all wedding planners would agree on that, because we are trying to calm down the couple for whatever thoughts they might have, because normally they are freaking out all the time for the whole planning process. They are super excited, but they don't know how to do things and they don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So there's always for them, oh, maybe there is not a knife for cake cutting. I'm like, no, you're not going to cut it with your finger. You're going to cut it with a knife, obviously. No. So some questions come your way and you're like, should I laugh?
Yeah.
Should I, like, I laugh
I
sometimes.
could tell you stories. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, do you have, how the music is going to be played in the cocktail hour? I'm like, I'm going to be in the haut-parleur. I'm going to get a haut-parleur and I'm going to be like, I will always love you. Like, there's going to be speakers in the cocktail hour. And then I think and I say, this is their first wedding.
Yeah.
Maybe we're hard on them sometimes. Because for us, it's
we're
like
professional. We're like, yeah, of course.
What are you saying?
What is this question?
Cocktail hour definitely has speakers. Like, this is where music goes out from.
Yeah.
But then I think, I don't know.
They don't know. It's a once in a lifetime.
And they're anxious about things that for us, it comes without even thinking that we'll have speakers at every single section. But for them, they think about it because they don't know if it's there, it's not there.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm sarcastic as a person as well. And that is good because it's humorous sarcasm, which helps the couple calm down. We laugh a lot in my meetings. We're all most of the time we're laughing.
I can believe this.
Yeah. So I try to humor them in sarcasm because I'm like, what are you asking me? So, but sometimes we have to be as well more understanding and less, I don't know, snobby or like, what are you asking? Like, really? No, we have to be a bit more like, this is their first wedding, this is their first rodeo. Yes. Be patient, accept the question, just answer it clear and neat. Yes, there will be speakers in the cocktail area. Yes, you will have a knife to cut the cake.
But I actually had a Lebanese bride that told me, or that asked me, I know you cannot control the weather.
Nice intro.
But
please do. Try. Talk to the gods.
I want snow. So there are machines. There are machines.
I know.
There are machines.
It's Christmas time. Of course there are machines.
So I was actually taking notes and I wrote snow machine on my paper. But internally I was
crying.
I was crying, laughing, crying. I don't know. I was thinking, where the hell do I get this snow machine they use for the mountains on the Alps for the ski?
Oh no!
Because they do this.
Oh, there's these white things.
No, but she wants a lot of snow.
She wants real snow.
Of course, real snow.
Oh, real snow. Oh,
real.
No.
Real.
Oh, Pepe. Ay, madre mía.
Ay, madre mía. Mamma mia. December wedding, and she wants snow, but I cannot control the weather. But I couldn't find the vendor that puts snow on these skiing
slopes,
so that people continue skiing in April when the weather is not so skiable, let's say.
Yeah.
And so so I wrote down snow machine.
And how did you make it happen?
No, actually the wedding didn't take place. They postponed it to summer.
Ah, okay.
And
so no snow.
No snow anymore. They were really another story. I mean, it's a long story. They were really, I want this. No, I prefer that. No, this. No, that. It was all the time like that.
Changing.
And the snow thing was really interesting. So I told them I cannot guarantee the snow machine. I can ask.
You can go to the Alps. Where was the destination?
I can ask. No, Vienna. That was Vienna. That was inbound business. So
no, that's
wow. So I told them do a summer wedding. No, if that's also a possibility, and then.
And forget about the snow, please.
You don't need the snow, because it's also a matter of budget. Even if we're talking high-end clients, there is a matter of budget always.
There's always
a
yeah.
budget. There's always the.
There's never somebody gonna tell you go for it. There's unlimited budget.
Well, we had that one time, but then in the end they were like, "Oh, this is a little bit high." I was like, "You said go for it." So we had flowers for 120,000 euros. Fine.
Yeah, if the sky is the limit, I can give you the sky and the.
Yeah, just if
clouds.
you give me the sky,
I will go crazy.
I will go crazy.
I will make it
realize
happen.
all my wedding planner dreams.
And this barely happens.
Yes, no, but the snow thing was really very, very interesting.
Very interesting story, actually.
Yes,
it's interesting to know
so that is for me a bridezilla. It's not the one that just asks questions because she doesn't know. It's really the one that goes beyond any human common sense.
We should start using groomzilla as well, because now it's becoming something.
It's becoming something.
Grooms. What are you doing in our meetings first? With all respect. But normally we used to deal with only the bride. That was normally our meetings. And I used to sometimes just meet the groom the day of the wedding, like maybe once in the meetings, the whole meetings.
Yeah.
Once, that's it. Yeah. Now the grooms are in all our meetings. They're giving opinion that nobody's taking anyhow, because they're trying, pobrecitos, they're trying.
They're sitting there just to be.
Because they are forcing them, the brides are forcing them to be in every meeting because they want them to be involved in the wedding industry, in the wedding planning, sorry. And they're not interested in knowing which napkin you want, which color, which wrapping, which favor you want, which flower. They don't care about these details.
They don't see colors, I think.
I don't understand colors. And I always ask the first meeting, is any one of you artistic? No, perfect. This is where I can actually lead, because if you come and tell me I want red and blue, I will tell you, no, honey.
Let's go to France.
Color psychology, please, por favor. I studied this in university and I cannot help you like this. This is not happening. So once now, actually, there's a wedding I'm planning in Sevilla this year. The couple is American Filipino and American Cambodian. They're super interesting and they're multicultural. The bride's super funny. But the groom, once, we were talking, me and her, and he's always there. I said a word. And we're like, I told him, what would you like as a decoration? And he's like, red. And the bride, I swear, she's super sarcastic and super funny. She removes him from the frame of our meeting. She removes his face and she's like, okay, thank you for your services, but no. And we continue our meeting and I was laughing. She just removed him from our frame.
Because he said red.
He said red and I'm like, the only red you're going to get is inside your jacket and the blazer, from the back, a small red pocket or something inside. That's the maximum red I'm going to give you. The whole wedding is just green. We just want something earthy. That's what we're working on. Yeah. The wedding is going to be like, something very, very minimal and very green. There's not even one color in anything. Everything is just green. And this guy just throws a red. And we're like, yeah. So what I gave him, he's a tattoo artist. So and we're doing now like temporary tattoos for the guests. Told him, look, one tattoo of them can have the red color. So go crazy. And he did a flamenco dancer with red color. I'm like, this is actually a masterpiece. Nice. Yeah. So you give them something, but no.
O sea,
sí, dime. Consuela.
O sea, you give them, it's like a child, no? You give them, go play with that.
Right? We cannot speak about them like that.
Well, I mean, it's not like that. Go play with that.
Yeah, because it's their wedding. You want to give them something that makes sense to them, but makes sense to you as well, because you know that this doesn't go with that. We need to be consistent.
But I tried to include the groom. I did also the other day, and you won't believe what he said. You will laugh now, because he also said red.
Ay, madre mia, what's wrong with men and red?
He also said red. I mean, we were talking about colors and the entire concept of this wedding, which has, it's not going to have any flowers. Everything is sculptures and fabrics, really very interesting and really white, beige, gray, stone, like all these
Earthy colors.
And then, of course, I also include. I want to include the groom
Since he's there.
Yeah.
For an hour sitting like that.
No, and it's a workshop with both of them. It's a design workshop with both of them that I do. And I asked him also, and he was, I like red.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh my God.
Okay, ignore the rest thing that happened.
Maybe in the food.
Yes. Tomatoes.
Yeah,
We're going to put you tomatoes in the salads.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Sometimes they ask you for things and you're there to direct them.
Yeah.
So you're the art director, but we always have to remember that this is about them. This is their vision. So I always tell them the first thing that I want you to do is create a mood board. I want to see what you like. Yeah. But tell me in every picture that you're saving, what do you like about it? One picture could have 1,000,000 things.
Yeah.
Could have chairs, tables, lighting, plates, napkins, cutlery, glassware, menu, table numbers. One picture could have 1,000,000 things. The style of the venue. I don't know what you like in this picture. You like the dress of the bride. You like her hair, her makeup, her nails, her ring. What do you like? They send me the mood board. Go crazy. I'm like, honey, but I need to understand this mood board.
Yes.
So, yes, there's a mood board there, but I make it in a better version of it.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like you're polishing their mood board in the best way possible, because sometimes their mood board is bohemian, classic, traditional, modern, contemporary, vintage, rustic, and you're like, what's happening there? What's it
or it's not a fit, not a match for the venue. Sometimes,
or it's not match for anything because it doesn't work together. You know, you have to maximum mix two styles together. At least for me, this is my style, how I do it.
Yeah.
I prefer to stick to one. Normally it's contemporary. But if you like rustic, I will give you rustic. If you like boho, I will give you boho. If you like classic or traditional or white flowers as well, I can give you that. Yeah. Because we are like chameleon. We change our colors depending on the people in front of us. So I've had couples who like something super white, everything white. I've had couples who wanted something very bold, too bold sometimes, orange and red. And you can make it nice because I know how to mix which colors with what. And some couples, they want just bohemian, like, dry everything. So you have to be able to accommodate all these things. Yeah. And you need to keep your signature in all of these different types. So people should know that Cybelle did that wedding. Cybelle Weddings was there, not somebody else. It's very hard because it's completely different things. But you can understand the approach to the table setup, let's say. But wedding planning is not always about the table setup only. No. This is actually a very small thing that we do. And people think, Cybelle, you don't have a lot of pictures of your table setups on your page. I'm like, this is 50% maximum of what we do. There's a million other things that we're doing that you don't even see.
Yeah.
Wedding planning is a lot of logistics, basically. Besides the design part. The design part is, okay, great. I'm a designer myself, so that's going to be easy. But for me, the logistics part is what actually matters as wedding planning.
Yeah.
So,
but going back to the groomzilla, because we were at the bridezilla, now we landed at the groomzilla. So what I have lived with a groomzilla is that it's more aggressive. It's not nice.
Lebanese groomzillas, I agree with you.
Yes. The bride can be fun. It's a joke, I can tell you, with the snow thing going on and whatever. Okay, this is fine. But the groomzilla, when they get aggressive, this is not nice at all. This is really for those who really want to do destination weddings, that want to have international clients, that when this groomzilla comes in, it's not like a bridezilla. It's not
fun.
It's not fun. And it's something where you need to set the boundaries very, very straight.
Very straightforward.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Sometimes men tend to get more aggressive in the way they speak, and this is where you should tell them things. For me, sometimes when the groom and the bride, you can directly understand. By now, we understand humans just by seeing them. It's not judging, it's understanding body languages and actually working with 1,000,000 types of people. Yeah. So that gives you some kind of, scanning code that you can do. So once a couple comes to me, the bride and the groom are both Lebanese. I'm not going to say names, of course. I really like the bride. She's exactly the style that I like to work with. She likes quite luxury and everything. The groom was shutting her up during the meeting. Didn't accept that I will do the negotiations with the suppliers.
Oh.
He said, my ego will not allow me My ego will not allow me that you will do the negotiations for me.
He said my ego.
I told him, what's wrong with your ego? And that was the first meeting. I'm selling my services.
Oh my gosh.
And this is when I understood that I don't want to deal with this couple. No matter how much I love the bride, I don't want to deal with this groom. Not even one more second. And I was aggressive with him. Maybe that wasn't very professional, because at some point you need to understand that this is a character. You need to accept it and know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't want to do that for a year and a half.
Yeah. No.
You don't want to deal like this. You want to enjoy your planning process, because you are doing so much work for them, many hours. You're communicating with them so many times, so many hours. You're there on the wedding day. If you don't have a nice vibe together, it's not going to be nice. And I don't want it for them. I don't want it for me. So I protected them and I hired my prices to the price that they cannot afford, because I didn't want to take the wedding. And that season wasn't perfect, but I still didn't want to take that wedding. So you sometimes protect yourself, or even sometimes groomzilla. One day he is having a bad day, and this is the day that you have a meeting and you have to deal with him. This is where the psychologist in us comes, and this is where you should know how to address and understand this is not personal. It's not about us. It's about what he's dealing with, and this is where we have to calm them down. It is a very hard job to do, because we are actually really wearing a lot of hats at the same time, but it is as well rewarding. Like when you see that you calm this person down, you made it go from a very negative, like minus 100 negative energy level to 100,000 positive energy. You're proud of your accomplishment. And I'm proud of this much more than being proud of something else. Like changing somebody's energy and shifting the energies around in the room, for me, is very important. And this is a power that you have. And I think that this is very important as a wedding planner to have, to be honest. Much more than anything else. Because there's a lot of emotions that are going around all the time, to be honest. So we need to deal with bridezillas. We need to deal with groomzillas right now. That's something new. And parentzillas.
Momzillas.
Parentzillas.
I also had dadzillas.
Now dadzillas.
I had a dadzilla.
What's happening?
I had a dadzilla.
Me too.
A Persian dadzilla.
I had an Iraqi dadzilla.
Okay.
And an Iraqi mamzilla. Oh my God. That was like...
Mamzilla I didn't have yet.
I had
moms that got very involved, but they weren't mamzillas. But let's get back to your confession.
My confession would be that weddings and wedding planning and the wedding industry is not as easy and fun as you would think. It is actually a very demanding job. You need to think that what you see on Instagram is very happy, of course. It's very beautiful. It's very rewarding. Whoa, we're going to this destination. We're going there. A lot of our planners today in this event have lost their voices. I'm taking pills to protect my voice. This is a stupidest example to know that even what you see, that we're having fun and everything, we're pouring our energy out and our body is, shutting us up. All these events that we are attending, to getting to know more destinations for you, local vendors and everything, they're very demanding. You are talking to, I don't know how many suppliers per minute. Networking events, you're talking to so many people, and you are actually selling yourself constantly, selling your services, selling your brand, right? You're talking to B2B meetings. You're trying to get as many information as you can. You're using your voice all the time. So basically, you're exhausted. You're not sleeping enough. We're always back to back on everything. And we are in a new environment and in new weather conditions, We get sick. We get tired. We lose our voices. It's negative what I'm saying. It's super fun, of course. But there is always something that we are compromising, and mostly it's our health. So you need to know that it's not all butterflies. Nothing is all butterflies anyhow. You need to know that when you think that, and some people tell us, I think all of us, you have the best job in the world. For me, it is. I chose it.
I love it.
And it chose me. We chose each other. I chose wedding planning, and wedding planning chose me.
It's like a marriage.
It's like a marriage forever, I think. You cannot divorce being a wedding planner or a wedding industry person.
You have no choice.
You're
when
there.
You're in it, you do it, you have no choice.
I highly believe that, by the way, too. But I'd say if you feel that weddings is what you need to do and this is your passion, it's your calling, definitely go for it, because it's the most rewarding thing to do. If you are a person's people, if you are somebody who's creative, if you love humans and interacting with people, different kind of cultures, different kind of traditions, if you're hungry for knowledge, if you're hungry for traveling and getting to know more people and more destinations.
And have a big range of talents, because wedding planning is something where you can really, truly discover talents you didn't have before and live all the talents you have in one job.
Wear so many hats at the same time as well.
So amazing.
You need to be a chameleon. Like you need to change your colors all the time. Between I'm talking to you in one way, I'm gonna talk to another person in another way, in their language and their how they will understand me. I'm talking to the supplier, not the same way I talk to a couple, not the same way I talk to a guest, not the same way I talk to any kind of person that I'm talking to. So you need to have a very good emotional intelligence, to be honest, to be able to accommodate to everybody's, opinions and thoughts and, characters and everything. You need to have very, very high emotional intelligence level, to be honest.
Yeah.
My wedding confession is it's one of the best rides I've had in my life, and it's going to be a beautiful ride, I'm sure. But it is quite demanding. So be careful to think that you are here to have fun. Weddings are fun, but weddings are exhausting at the same time. You finish your wedding, you go to the next day. Personally, I go the next day, I need 24 hours to be in the house doing nothing but relaxing my body and my mental illness.
I have so much pain in my legs.
We do. Sometimes I do 20 kilometers in a day, the day of the wedding.
Course.
I check sometimes. I'm like, it's one venue. How much can you walk? But I don't understand how much we are running around because you're going here, there. You're answering this one. You're answering this one's calling you. This one is. So there's always something happening. You're always running. There are always things happening. I don't understand the people who take every day a wedding. I'm like, you are superheroes. Me, I take one wedding per week. Especially that I travel from a destination to another. That as well takes a toll on you. So
that's your wedding confession.
Yeah, it's butterflies, but sometimes it has its spikes as well. It can sting you sometimes. It can be a bee, but it can be a butterfly as well. So don't romanticize weddings that much. Working in weddings, it is something that you have to be ready mentally for because it needs a lot of mental awareness, to be honest, to be able to accommodate to it. That is a wedding confession. If you want to know about some experience or something specific, that's something else.
That will leave for the next
podcast. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, we're done.
Thank you.
Yes.